Welcome back to our second edition of the Core Chronicles. I'm Ockert Loubser, co-founder of the Core blockchain and the Core ecosystem. In today's episode, we're unpacking a week filled with significant milestones and diving into some hot topics within our community. From the latest achievements surrounding Ping Exchange and CorePass to updates and advancements within Core blockchain. We've got a lot to cover. We'll also be addressing some of the concerns raised by our community, including the ever-important topic of 51% attack risks and the discussions around the Genesis block funds. These are crucial conversations, and we're here to provide clarity and reassurance. Last but not least, to top it off, we have something special to share with you. A brief conversation that I had with Akiba, delving into his perspectives and insights since our launch. It promises to be an enlightening discussion that I am sure you will not want to miss. So, sit tight as we dive into these topics and more, right here on the Core Chronicles. To start off with, we're going to look at the recap of this week. Last week marked the launch of the Core Chronicles video series to bring you closer to the heartbeat of the core blockchain ecosystem. In parallel, CryptoSlate, a distinguished name in the crypto media and also ranked as the 6th best crypto daily by journalists FeedSpot, independently initiated the Core Corner series. This is led by Liam Wright, also known as Akiba. The Core Corner delves into the technological backbone of the core ecosystem and the blockchain. The series is dedicated to exploring how our technology can enhance current systems and provide an in-depth information on the workings of the core blockchain. A special nod and congratulations to Liam for his contributions and his recent accolade penning his first Forbes article. Buddy, well done on that remarkable achievement. Right, so let's get into Ping Exchange, which saw a significant UI overhaul for mobile users, making trading more intuitive and efficient. Key updates include an improved order book, a new header input for price scale matching, and enhanced market protection mechanisms. Notably, we've removed the quick swap function to safeguard our less experienced traders from market volume discrepancies. On the CorePass front, we're thrilled to announce the completion of our new KYC and data suggestion process. The compliance department is putting the finishing touches on accepting these suggestions, with the final test phase strong underway. Stay tuned for the update release next week. XCB continues to thrive, surpassing a 200 megahash network hash rate. We've also published instructions on running your own node on Core blockchain, empowering our community with the tools for decentralization. Additionally, the coreblockchain.net website has been updated with a new section dedicated to mobile wallets like CorePass and XCB Hodler, complete with direct download links. Then, on a serious note, let's dive straight into the renowned 51% attack. Firstly, let's define it. A 51% attack is a term that stirs concern in the crypto world of blockchain. It occurs when a miner or a coalition of miners gains control of more than half of the network's mining power. Such dominance can lead to harmful manipulations, including double spending and halting transaction confirmations. Imagine possessing the power to rewrite the blockchain's history, to exclude or include transactions at will. This nightmare scenario becomes possible if attackers the alternate chain overtakes the original in cumulative difficulty. While daunting, executing a 51% attack on a well-established, large-scale cryptocurrency is a Herculean task, yes. However, during the infant stages of any proof-of-work blockchain, vulnerabilities exist due to the relatively lower overall hash rate. However, we are aware of these early-stage vulnerabilities. We at Core Blockchain have taken decisive steps to fortify our network. Unlike other platforms, our higher block rate challenges the feasibility of such attacks, safeguarding our ecosystem's integrity. The strategy includes a decentralized distribution of mining power over the world of architectural safeguards, making unauthorized hash rate concentration impossible. With 6 public pools under the vigilant supervision of Catch That Rabbit, Core Blockchain built a fortress with strong mining support. Catch That Rabbit, with its bespoke software and mining solutions, ensures that these pools operate within a secured framework. Direct access to upstream nodes further seals our defense, making a 51% attack nearly impossible on Core Blockchain. The variety of mining devices with the POD system improving the network strength. Innovation, vigilance, and community collaboration are our pillars of strength. As Core Blockchain evolves, we remain committed to inviting enthusiasts to join our journey, expanding our network's robustness against all odds. It serves to mention that in our commitment to transparency and empowerment within the Core Blockchain community, yesterday marked the release of a comprehensive guide detailing the essence and significance of nodes within our ecosystem. This guide delves into what nodes are, underscores their pivotal role, and explains why they are particularly recommended for those engaged in mining. For anyone looking to deepen their involvement and optimize their mining efforts, this article provides a step-by-step walkthrough on installing and running your own nodes, along with the specifications required for the operations. We've made this resource available on the Core Blockchain website under the blog section to ensure our community has the knowledge and tools needed for success. I encourage everyone to explore this guide and consider the benefits of running your own nodes alongside your mining activities. The next topic is the tactical distribution of 1 million core coins on the launch of CorePass and Ping Exchange. So, launching dApps on a new, genuine proof-of-work blockchain without its native coin is akin to planting a garden without water. You can prepare the soil, sow the seeds, and ensure everything's in place. But without water to nourish them, the seeds won't sprout, and the garden will not flourish. Just as water is essential for the garden's growth, the native coin is crucial for activating and sustaining the ecosystem of dApps. So in short, XCB was that water. Hence, the advancement of the 1 million XCB funded by the Genesis block. But why this specific amount, right? The answer lies in our community of over 20,000 early adopters and the anticipated growth that beckons new participants. To ensure fluid transactions on the CorePass and seamless data payments on Ping Exchange, liquidity is key. Core coins facilitate these transactions, empowering users to engage deeply within our ecosystem. CorePass and Ping Exchange are fundamental to our ecosystem's infrastructure and could not have started if there was no liquidity of XCB. In fact, it would have been impossible to commence any form of activity on the core blockchain without XCB. CorePass facilitates the secure transactions and the fingerprinting of personal data on the blockchain, utilizing XCB and CTN. Meanwhile, Ping Exchange revolutionizes how we value personal data, rewarding users with CTN for their KYC verified information. Each reward payment is processed on the blockchain, using XCB to cover the transaction fees and ensuring a seamless and efficient transfer of value to our users. This strategic liquidity ensures that our ecosystem thrives, remains accessible, and continues to reward every user, setting a new standard in blockchain utility. Addressing the next topic, we delve into concerns regarding the effect on XCB's circulating supply and on the strategy of reimbursing the 1 million XCB. Consider this. The 1 million core coins amount to just 2.6% of XCB's total mined supply, which is on an upward trend trajectory. We're committed to a future where sustainability is key, intending to return these coins to the Genesis block. To achieve this, we're developing an XCB liquidity platform that will provide remuneration to the participants of the pool. The funds are generated by this platform will facilitate the repayment of the 1 million XCB initially allocated by the Genesis block to jumpstart CorePass and Ping Exchange, ensuring their effective rollout. Last year, in an article, we pledged to reimburse the Genesis block with the 1 million XCB at the earliest opportunity. Our goal is to honor this pledge by launching a meticulously planned platform by the second quarter of 2024, maintaining our commitment to ethical practices and transparency in managing the Genesis block's resources. Let's shift our focus to the Genesis block, which comprises of 300 million core coins. We've touched on this subject before, but it bears repeating that the essence of our growth is deeply rooted in the establishment of a decentralized autonomous organization, aka DAO. This governance model reflects our deep-seated belief in decentralization and empowering our community, incorporating the Genesis block into its structure. Guided by insights from trusted advisors, we're laying the groundwork for a DAO that will oversee the core Genesis block's SXCBs, transactions, and implementing groundbreaking strategies for capital flow that will enrich our core community. This initiative aims to ensure every member's voice can influence the trajectory of core blockchain and its associated projects. In an era marked by a surging interest in tokenization and the need for efficient financial platforms, it is imperative for Core and its community to embrace the opportunities presented by an economy that's becoming increasingly digital. By harmonizing the strengths of blockchain, generative AI, Web3, and other cutting-edge technologies, we're poised to engage in an economy that's not only transparent and inclusive, but also geared towards sustainability on a global scale. This shift promises to redefine traditional economic boundaries, particularly in terms of blockchain transaction volumes, capital flow needs, and the liquidity requirements of native blockchain currencies. Our mission is to enact meaningful change hinges on utilizing these technological advances to unlock avenues of wealth, including strategic demand for XCB and CTN. The Core Community DAO plays a pivotal role in this, making judicious investments to develop and fund infrastructure solutions that boost digital asset management and, of course, settlement, ensuring a broader market reach. Such initiatives ensures that Core's ecosystems economic development is seamlessly linked with beneficial societal shifts and environmental stewardship, reflecting the demands of a 21st century economy that is increasingly digital. The DAO is committed to making wise investments in infrastructure and use case implementation, fostering economic growth within the core ecosystem that leads to societal betterment and environmental care, and paving the way for platforms that heighten the demand for XCB and CTN. As we move forward, our strategic allocation of core coins and the establishment of our DAO stand as proof of our commitment to innovation, inclusivity, and integrity, all while valuing our community's engagement. I'd like to invite everyone to stay tuned for the forthcoming updates on the DAO's progress, targeted for operational status in the second quarter of 2024. Additionally, we'll be releasing a foundational video detailing the DAO's principles, guidelines, and operational framework, ensuring our community is well informed, engaged in the activities on their role and impact of the DAO. In the last segment of our video, we delve into an impromptu yet profoundly insightful conversation with someone I deeply admire and respect. This individual's perspectives are not only invaluable to me personally, but to our entire ecosystem. Our discussion initially centered around the Ping Exchange statistics, where Liam, with his keen analytical skills, provided some on-the-spot checks and comparisons. His insights offered a tangible measure of Ping Exchange's progress, a testament to his thorough understanding and expertise. As is often the case with such engaging dialogues, our conversation naturally evolved, branching out into a variety of topics we're both passionate about. Recognizing the richness of our discussion, we made the spontaneous decision to record it. It's with great excitement and gratitude that we're able to share this dialogue with you, our community, giving you a glimpse into the kinds of conversations that shape the direction and spirit of our work. Firstly, I really love your view on our little discussion that we had actually about Ping Exchange after we discussed a little bit the statistics and things like this. And of course, with the impromptu recording that we decided to do. By the way, for those that don't know, this is Akiba, absolutely phenomenal guy, very dear friend of mine. Even though we haven't met that many times, but we've met many times online, and I absolutely love this gentleman. But also, by the way, congratulations on your Forbes. Super cool. I'm really, really interested about that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your view, because this is pretty interesting, of your findings that you actually did.
Yeah, so Aki shared with me some of the data on how sort of Ping's been doing, and my sort of take on it initially is the fact that, I mean, it's all organic, and that's what really excites me. When I've had experience of dealing with people with exchanges and what goes on behind the scenes, and I know there's a lot of market makers out there in the market and liquidity. Like pretty much everyone creates an exchange, makes sure that they have enough liquidity, which often means basically other people buying and selling orders, which is kind of semi-artificial, but it's just to make sure that people on the exchange get good prices and can trade. But that means that a big part of that volume isn't real people. And what you've done with Ping is you've gone, you know what? This is just for people. This is real people. So all those numbers, all those trades, all that volume is real people's hard-earned money that they're trading on an exchange that's been built on core blockchain. And I just think that's super exciting. And when you then, and it's very different, and it aligns with everything that I've heard from the core team whenever I've spoken to them about that mission of creating something for real people in a way that's transparent. And as always, doing it the hard way, the honest, straightforward way, but the hard way. And in a world where this industry is filled with a lot of other types of people, that really kind of endears me. And I think that slow organic growth is what's going to make it so much more sort of strong in the long term. And the thing that Oki was talking about is, my first thought was, rather than trying to compare it directly to sort of your big exchanges like your Binances and your Coinbases, I mean, one way you can do is start looking at other like smaller, newer exchanges. And when you do that, volumes are actually very comparable to platforms even the size of sort of like BitMEX and stuff when you look on CoinMarketCap. But I think the really interesting one is comparing it with DeFi platforms and DEXs, because obviously Ping is it's a hybrid exchange. It's somewhere between. It's custodial, non-custodial, like the way that the wallets work. It's for me, it's all the benefits of DeFi with all the benefits of CeFi kind of merged into one. That's why I really like about it. But yeah, you look through the top, say, 200 DeFi projects, and in the very first month, Ping's easily in the top 200. And DeFi is a big space. It's been running since like 2018, 2019 now. And a lot of these platforms have been going for a long time. So I think having those sorts of volumes in the first month is a great success. It just requires now that people to understand why it's different, just to try the onboarding process and commenting on it. Because from my point of view, it's absolutely slick as anything.
Thank you very much. Well, the interesting part is the approach of the exchange is entirely different than a SEX or, other platforms. Because when you're not providing market makers or things like this, actually what it becomes the seller's market. It doesn't become the buyer's market. The seller's market is the one that actually defines the price. And because they're the one that's holding the assets, and the buyers are the ones that actually want the assets. So it's in actual fact, it's in reverse, because if you have market makers, they're actually using it as the buyer's market to stipulate what the price is going to be and trying to push the price up. In our case, this comes from a reverse side of, what do I think is the value of Core? What do I think of Core Token and of XCB? This is not what someone is bidding. Yes, there's someone that is bidding for it and says, I'm willing to buy it at this price, but it depends on you whether you're willing to sell it at that price. And that's the difference. That's the mindset change that also needs to happen in our communication, which I think personally is the one that needs to actually take place. Because it takes an entire different approach on the markets itself.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's the sort of thing you hear a million times in crypto, but it's just still so early for all of this. And that's my sort of view. Like, there's so much more adoption to become here. Like, we're looking forward to seeing new people building amazing tech with like the CBC20 standards, and what can happen when all the other developers start building things alongside you guys. That's when things like Ping are then going to be very, very interesting, like you say, because there's, if there are people on there ready to sell, then there'll be, when there's people that are keen to buy, be interesting to see kind of what happens there with new people coming into the market. But one thing I always say to people is, whenever you go to a conference like ECC or any developer conference where there's people building on a project, the last thing you ever hear anyone talking about is price.
Yeah.
You talk about progress, you talk about building, you talk about community, you talk about sort of getting the momentum, onboarding new people. Like, you never see anyone checking portfolios. And let's see what happens in 10 years' time. And so these conversations around liquidity and Ping in the first month are kind of hilarious to me, because it's so important right now because you need to get it right. But I'm not thinking month on month trading volumes. I'm thinking about the core infrastructure. And when you go through everything that Codetech's got in terms of what it's developed and the core blockchain and what the potential is there, that's the bit that excites me.
Yeah, exactly. I really can't wait to see other DeFi projects and things coming on board, and other interesting projects of how they utilize and how they actually implement some of the technology which is available already. Specifically CorePass. We've had some interesting approaches of people that have actually approached us with use cases and things that we're now actually in discussions with, which is absolutely amazing. Some of the things and how they want to apply it, it is so unique. And it was like, wow, we didn't even think of that, It's really interesting
And
of
you've tried
what's
to think of
actually happening.
everything, okay? You've tried to think of everything. Like if there's a use case for this blockchain, you're like, we developed it. We have to get all the best use cases, and you've got a million of them already. But I'm not surprised, and I think it's actually brilliant for you to be like,
Yeah.
damn, we forgot that one.
Well, that's it for this week. We hope you enjoyed this Core Chronicle. Please stay safe, keep on hodling, and stay tuned for more updates as we continue to build the decentralized future together. Thank you for watching. Till our next Core Chronicle update.